I hope this is working. Yeah, sorry, bit out of it this morning. Let me just readjust some shit. Here we go. That's better. Hi. As you can see, did a bit of a redesign on the old games room. I mean, the art's still in the same place, but I moved my computer and a couple of other things around. So now you have access to, you can see the wall of toys and shit. Everything from Doctor Who to my rather awesome, even though I do say so myself, Star Wars Tiki mugs from Star Wars. Isn't that cool? We have a few. The wife and I got drunk several times and ordered them. We started off actually with C-3PO and Greedo were the first two we ever bought, I think. Actually, no, it was Han and Greedo. We bought them at a tiki bar in Palm Springs. And then we were like, oh, well, we have to see what else is out there. And we start looking at them. We're like, oh, they're fantastic. And so we started collecting them. The most recent ones, of course, Mando and Yoda, Grogu. So, yeah, it's a fun thing to collect. Obviously, that was pre-diagnosis because I had this grand plan that I was going to. Build a shed in the backyard and turn it into a tiki bar. Whew, getting a little warm this morning already. So yes, that's obviously being put on hold, but maybe next summer. Because things are going good. So thank you for everybody who's in. Hi Annalie, hi Sundancer, hi Raypad, hi Mark. Thank you for joining. This is going to be around this time, either on a Saturday or a Sunday, football permitting, because I have made the executive decision that the Friday time doesn't work for everybody, and plus with some of my upcoming treatments, it's going to become friggin' impossible. I mean, that's why there wasn't one last week. And so Saturday and Sunday are going to be the 2 days where I'm going to do a stream, not Saturday and Sunday, Saturday or Sunday in a week. Simple reason, is as opposed to just sticking it one day, is it just depends on when Liverpool are playing. And Ray will basically, hello King Ding, how are we doing? RP Genius. When Liverpool are playing, because of the time difference, it's on in the morning here. So I will not stream when Liverpool are playing. So if we've got a Saturday game, I'll stream on a Sunday. If we've got a Sunday game, I'll stream on a Saturday. Ditto, we've got a Monday game. But otherwise, I'll do it around this time. I know it's a little bit easier for a lot of people. And, you can't please everybody. So I've given up trying. So Ray has had a good morning. He said he woke up at 5:15 a.m. to watch the Manchester derby, which means that he watched his team beat Manchester City, Man United rather. His team's Man City, but they only scored 2. Ray, I'm sorry. Liverpool went there. Hang on, sorry. Liverpool went there 2 weeks ago, and we scored. Was it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Yes. So sorry, any Man United fans, but I have read the match report. I didn't get up that early, but I do know that Man City were the dominant team, and maybe when you get a striker, you will actually start scoring 100 goals a game, which is terrifying for everybody else. But it'll basically be a bidding war between you and Newcastle United to see who can spend the most blood money. Not that I'm bitter in any way, shape, or form. Let's see. Oh, did Chelsea drop points? They were 1-0 up. So RP Genius is telling me that we need to capitalize on, Liverpool needs to capitalize on Chelsea dropping points. So I'm guessing they might have drawn today against Burnley. Liverpool have West Ham tomorrow. And to those of you who have no interest in footy or Socha, tough. My show, my life. This is what I'm doing. So yeah, if 1-1, yes, good job, Burnley. Thank God for that. So yeah, if we can close the gap. If Liverpool beat West Ham, which is no guarantee because West Ham are absolutely flying this season, it's such a great team. I have a couple of their players in my fantasy league team, and they are really, really a great team to watch. But last season I think we had the same concerns when we were well out of form, and we went there. I think we beat them 2-1. So yeah, if we win tomorrow, we're within a point of Chelsea, which is good because we can't let Chelsea get too far away. But anyway, hello to Ainchecker. Good to see you. Thank you all for, like I said, thank you all for joining in. So, couple of updates. Patreon. If you are a Patreon subscriber or supporter, you will have had a message from me if you are a tier 2 because I deleted tier 2. And basically, with the treatments and everything, I only have the bandwidth to do one show a week right now. And I don't feel comfortable taking your money for the extra, the promise of the extra show every week when I'm not delivering it. I haven't delivered it in a while. I feel guilty about that. So I have basically removed that tier. And if anybody wants to resubscribe at the $3 tier, great. Thank you so much. It is lovely and appreciated. If not, totally respect that. And yes, I've deleted the very top tier. And so now there's only 2 tiers. Basically, if you are a Patreon subscriber, you're on basic tier, which is you get access to the chat on Discord, and we interact there. And I interact when I can. More on that in a minute. But there's some really good people in there chatting, and there's a good vibe. And then if you go to tier 2, you get to buy the mug. The mug with the mug on. And I'm actually thinking of upping the design on this and doing a new mug to change things up a little and keep them a little more exclusive. I'm actually looking to see if there is a merchandise place that basically does stuff on the fly, so that I can do limited numbers of various things with slogans on them and beerisms. And so people can, much like my Tiki collection, can start a collection of beer mugs, pint pots, whatever. I'm having a look. I'm trying to figure it out. It would be fun. Good morning, King Ding 2. How you doing? Question from Sublevel 28. The guitar in the back. What guitar is this? Now then, this is where I unfortunately look a bit like a douche. This was basically sent to me several years ago when I did the NBC video games thing here in LA. And it's basically called a Fretlock Guitar. And a Fretlock Guitar is a guitar that has a special cable, plugs into your PC. I think it's that one. That goes into a USB port. And it's to basically teach you to play guitar. And I talked about it as a Christmas gift. It was quite expensive. And I asked them if they wanted it back, and they said no. And I said, oh, okay. And then I thought, oh, shall I keep it and shall I learn to play guitar? And I said, and so I ended up keeping it, but never learning to play guitar. Because, things got in the way, as they tend to do. Foster babies, heart attacks, bypasses, coronavirus, and now the other C word. But I kept it because it's such a lovely guitar, and I like it sitting there, and I feel a little bit rock and roll, even though I am a total fake. But at least I didn't put it up on a wall. So there you go. Because I have no musical talent. I really do wish I could either sing or play a musical instrument, but I just can't read music, can't understand it. All I can do is Baby Got Back on karaoke. So there you go. How was Halloween? Did everybody have a good Halloween? A bonfire night was last night in the UK. 5th of November, gunpowder treason and plot, Guy Fawkes night where somebody tried to blow up Parliament a long time ago and failed miserably. And ever since, we have a big bonfire with a guy, a stuffed mannequin that we call a guy, that we'd put on top of bonfires, and there'd be fireworks and stuff like that. Do miss that tradition, because you'd have hot soup in a mug, or you'd have sausage and mash, or a hot pie, and you all stand around freezing your tits off. So yeah, I hope my Brits had a safe and not too noisy bonfire night last night. So yes, and of Halloween last week. I mean, if you follow my Twitter feed, you'll have seen some pictures of the house. We decked them out. I wore my pumpkin man suit, which is basically a suit covered in little pumpkins. And then, just to creep kids out, the scariest $3 investment ever. How creepy is that? $3. Who's chatting? Oh, King Ding has just sent a picture of his kids' room, or the window at his house, with Stay Puft, Proton Pack. Oh, it's not a Proton Pack. It's a Ghost Trap, and yes, there's the streaming gun thingy from Ghostbusters, and that's friggin' awesome. That is friggin' awesome, King Ding. And this is what happens on the Discord. Everybody gets to chat and have some fun and share pictures, and it's really, really cool. So yes, it's been we had over 70 kids come by. We'd done little bags because we didn't want anybody rummaging through piles of sweeties, and we just gave out 70 little bags of candy. It was like start off with 6 candy per bag, like peanut M&Ms or Snickers or whatever, and then we'd given out 50, and we had 20. We had like 10 left, and I was like, shit, we have any more people coming, and we're out. And so I literally tore apart the old bags and repacked them, divided them and repacked them. So I made 10 bags into 20, and that was just enough so that every kid got one. And if they had allergies, they got a little bag of toys. So there you go. Raypad says that he is tempted to buy the Ghostbusters Neutrona wand. I saw the big Proton Pack thing. Is that the one you're talking about on Hasbro Pulse, where they're asking for crowdfunders? That looks pretty awesome. Don't think I could carry it. And I don't think I should have much more crap dotted around here for obvious reasons. I mean, I've obviously pared down a lot of my collectibles, and I've got to try and figure out what stays, what goes where. Just being practical. But I have had Simon Sinclair. Simon, you will have missed this earlier, but check your Patreon message box. I sent you in particular a specific message, my friend. Thank you so much as well. So let's talk about me before we get on to the fun stuff, because I just want to update you and share with you what's been going on, because obviously I've been dark for 2 weeks. It's been a up and down 2 weeks. First of all, yesterday I had my second shot of something called Lupron, which is a testosterone killer. And it's basically a needle yay big that goes into the butt. And am I sore today? Right into my right gluteus maximus. And then I had something called Exgiva, which is a bone strengthening medication. And that went in here. So this arm's a little sore. I shouldn't have done that. And that's meant to strengthen my bones, because obviously they've been weakened by the cancer. So they basically take calcium out of the blood and redistribute it to the bones to reinforce them, on top of a calcium thing I'm taking. So that obviously was yesterday. No, that was Wednesday. Thursday. What day is it? It's Saturday. Fuck, crazy. So yes, that was on Thursday. And the other thing was I had tests again for the for everything. And the PSA test came back. Remember that PSA number I told you way back in the beginning, where it's like, I've got cancer. The PSA was 505. Well, it's steadily been coming down. We've had 3 tests since. where it dropped to 280, which was amazing. That was the first PSA after about 10 days treatment. Then it dropped to 55. And then it dropped to just under 3, which was amazing. And now it's got to 0.77, which is absolutely fantastic. And that does mean that I'm about to start radiation therapy, which is a next whole level of friggin' hell, if you ask me. But it needs to be done. My oncologist wants to kick the cancer while it's, on its back feet. And that means I get to go into hospital 5 days a week for 5 weeks. And they will, with temporary markers, put mark little circles on my abdomen and back where they need to target the tumors, bombard them with precision radiation thingies to shrink the tumors even more, which is great, but terrifying and irksome because it's going to be at least an hour and a quarter out round trip every day. But it's only going to be during the week, hence the whole me switching the show to the weekends as well, on top of the Liverpool game. But that's the good news. I mean, I've obviously shared this with you before, but I'll put it in a little more context. What are we? 4 months ago. 4 months ago, I was diagnosed, and the doctor who diagnosed me said, "Smoke him if you got him." He was expecting me to be gone by Christmas. And that shook me up, obviously. And then I got to see my oncologist, my current doctor. It's that thing, you always get a second opinion. And I did. And this doctor said, "Nah, not on my watch." And they upped it to, "We can't see anything bad happening to you for the next 6 to 9 months." So I'm like, okay, we've gone up by 3 months. That's good. And he got me on these treatments, and these treatments have been amazing. And now it's down to the most recent diagnosis following the tests this week are, well, it might not be the death sentence. If they hadn't caught it when they did and got me onto these pills, I would have got worse and worse and worse, and I'd probably be in my end game about now. So that's how close I have come to actually shuffling this mortal coil. Because if it got to this stage without any treatment, there's nothing that could have been done. So yes, I came very close. I'm going to bite the bullet at some point, but it's touch wood manageable until the until the cancer turns and goes all Borg on me and assimilates to my weaponry. But it's absolutely amazing. It looks like I'm going to be here this year and maybe and next year, and God knows how long after that. Do I still feel like crap? Yes, I still have the issues that I have, along with a whole new set of aches from various treatments. But to show you how confident I am of being around for at least a couple of years to bore the shit out of you. That's right, peoples. PS5 in the house. I got so yes, Mark Simpson, thank you very much. Yes, for the support. Yes, I know how the radiation is going to be rough on me, and I don't know if I'm going to start it this year because of Thanksgiving and the holiday season. It may not be possible because it has to be 5 consecutive days and 5 consecutive weeks. So I don't know if they may say, "Oh, we have to wait till January the 2nd or the 3rd, I think, which is a Monday, to kick this off." So that'll be that. So I'm prepared for it. I'm on a great diet. I'm working out 3 times a week. I'm developing a gun or two. I mean, admittedly, there's a super soaker right now, but who knows? Maybe one day my guns will be good. I'll be the best looking corpse in the morgue, ladies and gentlemen. So yes, so Sean and I were talking after getting the diagnosis like last week actually, and she said, "Look, you want a PS5? Why don't you just fucking get one?" And I said, "Look, I just don't feel comfortable, getting one. Plus, you can't find them for love nor money." And she said, "Look, put it out there on Facebook. You said you've got a lot of friends in the video game industry. Surely somebody can help you." And okay, are you sure we can afford it? Blah, blah, blah. Yes. So I did. I put a post up on Facebook, and some of you who are my Facebook friends, you will have seen it. And a very, very good friend came through and had a PS5 that they had bought from the previous week, I think, for somebody else who then bailed. And he sold it to me at what he paid for it. Brand new, unopened. And he also threw in a couple of games, which is amazing. So yes, this is what inspired me redoing the games room. So yes, I've got this PlayStation 5 now, and I got to say, it's beautiful. It is a beautiful console. I've got it. First of all, we plugged it up on our 4K TV in the living room, just to see it. It's 75-inch glory. I was like, oh. So now I've got it on my monitor that my PC's plugged into, and I haven't had a lot of time to play with it. We're running back and forth, but I did have a chance to spend some time with Miles Morales, Spider-Man, and it's very enjoyable. It's very enjoyable. It's gorgeous to look at. The Miles Morales game, the acting is great as per the last Spider-Man. I'm not very far into it. Does seem more of a reskin or an expansion rather than a standalone game. But I got it for free, so I'm not going to quibble. The next game, Touchwood, is I'm going to get FIFA 22 and Ghosts of Tsushima. That's on my Christmas list. Ghosts of Tsushima. So that's the plan. Those are the games I really want to play because I love Sucker Punch. And I know I've got a bunch of backwards compatible stuff. So yes, I'm slowly exploring it, having fun, and it's nice to have a new console in, and it is pretty gorgeous. So, Manu Big's in the house. Nice to see you. Yeah, so that's yes, the PlayStation 5 is in the house. I'm very happy, and I hope that Sony's can get it to as many people as possible. And I'm still playing PC games, obviously. Managed to snag a neighbor was. So I've got one standing desk that you've seen because I've been winding it up by hand for so long. But a neighbor was selling a mechanized standing desk. So I now have this one that is just touch a button and it goes up and down. It's great. So I've reorganized the office and I've made things a little bit more streamlined. And I put some stuff away, and I put the PlayStation here, and I got a headphone set for that with Dolby and everything, and the PC, and the laptop is here, and here's my breakfast. It's muesli, and I haven't eaten much of it yet because, and here's my coffee, and I'm rambling. I haven't even started talking about the fucking things I want to talk about yet. And then obviously there's all the stuff pared down. I've got the Funko wall up the back there. And I don't know if you can see any of that, but I got my Funkos here. I've got my tiki bag glasses here. I've got my comic books and stuff and books all down here. And then Doctor Who, more books, Tiki, Fallout. These are all Pip Boys or bobbleheads, Pip Boy bobbleheads. And then you've seen the other stuff. I mean, you've seen the art and stuff behind me, and more art is going up soon. But hi, Brolov, nice to see you, Mabek. How you doing? So Matthew Thomas, good to see you. Yes, I'm gonna play the Astrobot game as well when I get a chance. I got some stuff to do today. Gonna help Shauna put away all the Halloween stuff so we can get all the Thanksgiving stuff out and then Christmas stuff. And it's a good workout for me. King Dane 2 is asking, are the EA FIFA rumors true? Are they going to lose the license? I think they're ready to walk away from the license because FIFA's license has become pretty shitty, to be honest with you. The FIFA brand, especially with this going to the World Cup every 2 years, that's what they're talking about. I mean, FIFA, right after the Olympics, is probably one of the most toxic brands in sport right now, ripe with graft and corruption. If you notice, I don't think we had an Olympic Games this year. I think the only Olympic Games game, the only ones I think we've had in the past or recently have been the Sonic ones. I don't even think we got that. So I would say yes, and I would say they will go to negotiate with individual clubs or individual leagues, which would probably make more sense because we are looking at, they may not be able to then say, you can't, you won't be able to have like the World Cup or the FIFA World Club Cup, but they could go with UEFA, or they could just go individuals and then just have fake European tournaments, world tournaments, whatever, because it's more about the players and the clubs than anything else, to be honest with you. So, FIFA want a shit ton of money. EA don't want to pay it. And plus, EA's revenue stream might get curtailed with all these loot box laws that are due to sort of like be evaluated by various governments and the European Union in particular, moving forward, and classifying them as gambling will basically make it hard for EA to sell them. So they'll want to get away from that, save some money, and be, continue to make the billions of dollars they have. Because let's face it, EA have become a FIFA, Madden, Battlefield, occasional Star Wars game, occasional Battlefield game. That's it. I mean, yeah, it's funny how the top two games company, actually, they're not the top two. I mean, now Fortnite's pulling in so much money. Epic's probably the biggest video game company in the world, right? I mean, let me know what you think. But but what were the two titans are just reliant on one or two games each to keep them going. Sad state of affairs, really. I mean, I do miss my days of, let's see. Where is it? I mean, obviously, I do remember the NHL 95s. Obviously, I've busted out some stuff. I've rearranged some stuff back here. But yeah, Road Rash, Jungle Strike, Desert Strike. I mean, there was a bunch of games that were really quite good, and we've talked about it. So yes, we'll see. There was an Olympics game, RB Genius. Okay, I'll take your word for it. I mean, I'm kind of out of it. But yes, I mean, I think those brands are possibly toxic and possibly overpriced. I mean, something's got to give. The same way something's going to have to give with regards to the TV rights, for example, with the Premier League. Excuse me. Where the Premier League wants more and more money every year, and companies are going to go bust trying to pay it. I mean, we saw this happen in France with the collapse of their deal, and it put a lot of clubs into trouble. And we now look at the problems that the Spanish clubs are having. So anyway, we've talked about a lot of things. Shall we talk about some video games then? Ooh, all right then. Shit, I've got nothing to talk about with video games. What was I going to talk about? I'm going to talk about Eternals, and I'll talk about that at the end. So you can do earmuffs, so you can basically step out. I'm going to talk about Windows 11 for all you PC users. If you have a PC and you are a PC gamer and you have got Windows 10 and it says, here, Windows 11, shiny, shiny, please upgrade, do it now. Happy fun time, joy, joy, don't do it. I did it for 3 or 4 days. Fucking hated it. It disabled all my audio drivers every time I rebooted. My keyboard didn't work. my microphone wasn't working, so I wouldn't have been able to do this bloody podcast, this stream of podcast, whatever the hell it is, on the old one. So last night I reset, I rolled it back, which was fun. So anyway, it only took like 10 minutes, thank God. No losses of data, everything back to the way it was. I'm happy, and I will try Windows 11 when they've got it right in about 3 or 4 years' time, or when video game companies stop supporting Windows 10. Interesting. Ray Padilla, Raypad TV is saying by revenue, Tencent is technically the largest video games company. Don't they own? I mean, they don't necessarily do their own video games, but they own chunks of everybody else. Isn't that right? Dead Space, yes, Dead Space, EA, the Iron Checker. I am so looking forward to seeing Dead Space coming back because I'm getting a feel for it. All right, let's talk about Square Enix. Let's talk about Square Enix because Guardians of the Galaxy has come out and the reviews are, fair to middling. I'm not going to get it, not until it's probably free on PS Plus or it drops on Xbox Games Pass or, it's free on Epic Game Store or something like that. Because, as I said, I'm boycotting it. So until I don't have to pay for it, I'm not getting it. But it's interesting from that. I saw a report this week that head honcho of Square Enix did an interview where he talked about companies within or studios within Square Enix being given games that they shouldn't have, and working on titles and franchises that weren't real natural fits and them having to adjust and probably failing. Now, the understanding is he was talking about Square Enix and Avengers. Because, fucking hate the Avengers game. It's broken, monotonous. They've got more content coming this month. Spider-Man's coming to PS4. Obviously, I did have a PlayStation version that I can put onto PS5, so I can look at that. Guarantee it won't be as good as the new Spider-Man, as Miles Morales Spider-Man, but what are you going to do? But he's right. It shouldn't have gone to Square Enix. It should have gone to another studio. Or they shouldn't have tried to make a game that's just a blatant fucking money grab. If you sign a license and think, you know what, we're not going to make any money off this unless we gouge the gamer, then maybe you don't need to be in the business of making that license, because it may boost your share price short term, but it's going to do nothing but damage to your image in the long term. So have a bit of common sense. Your eyes are bigger than your belly. Coming from a guy with a big belly like mine, that's saying something. So Darmist is saying Guardians is my game of the year. And look, I'm happy if that you're playing something and it's bringing you that deep joy. Good for you. I'm not going to give Square Enix a fucking penny. Not until they actually fix Avengers. I really can't stand the sight of it. And in related Marvel news, the Marvel game from Firaxis has been delayed. The Black Sun, I think it's called, isn't it? That's the one that's slipped out of March. That was no surprise because they were supposed to show gameplay footage for the first time at the Game Awards, and I'm guessing, to go from announcement to ship in 8 months, that's a tough one, unless you are somebody like Bethesda. Midnight Suns. That's it. Yes. So yeah, I mean, it looks like the only Marvel games we're going to have right now are Spider-Man, and I'm perfectly happy with that. So there you go. Ghostbusters is coming out next week. Ghostbusters Afterlife. Everybody going to watch that? I know I am. It's great that we found this little cinema where we can go and sit and be away from everybody and have our masks on and keep an eye on everybody else. And, everybody else is being really cool and got their masks on, and they've got no kids because it's too expensive for kids. So yes, Ghostbusters 2. Yeah. There's something else I want to talk about. Hang on. Covered off the Patreon, and I will say this again because I know we've got a few more people in. If you are a Patreon subscriber, check your message box, because if you're what was tier 2, I've deleted it and you're not paying anything anymore, and I've sent you a note to say why. All right, so let's see what else is going on in the world. In fact, I'm just going to take some questions now. You know what? I'm going to take some questions. Manu Biggs with a great question. Has this been the quietest Call of Duty launch ever? It's funny. The only time I see anything about Call of Duty recently as Vanguard is just hit, doesn't it? The only news I'm seeing, and I don't know whether it's a news blackout or maybe it's just not dropping into my feed. The only time I'm seeing Call of Duty news is people complaining about the game. And it's, oh, so-and-so complaining about this one because they got banned, or this particular character is overspammed already, and that's all I'm seeing is complaints. And it's disappointing for anybody who's a fan of that franchise. I mean, it's been going for 16 years now. But Activision maybe resting on their laurels. I mean, let's face it, they've had a banner year when it comes to being shitty, as any Bethesda employee, Blizzard employee will tell you. Diablo 4 has slipped. Diablo 2 remaster turned out to be a bit of a disaster. Yeah, so I mean, I don't know what the sales are going to be like. People are complaining. People are saying that they'd rather get the old game. I'll play the old game, and so I'm going boo-hoo, boo-hoo, boo-hoo for them because I really don't care. I think that companies like Activision and a couple of the other ones are creatively bankrupt. They will come up with something occasionally that's really quite interesting, but if you are literally like all you're doing is churning out sequel after sequel, and there's no guarantee of quality, then you know what? Screw off. There's plenty of other games out there and games companies who deserve your money. Devolver Digital, those guys are batshit crazy, and I like a lot of the stuff that they have done in the past. They're somebody that I like. I know Bethesda's part of the part of Microsoft now, but I mean, Sucker Punch. I mean, Sony has a great stable of developers. Microsoft has a great stable of developers. If you're going to do sequel after sequel, do it the GTA way. Do it every several years and make sure it's a monumental step forward every time, as opposed to a yearly churn out. Ubisoft, yearly churn out. You know what happened with Far Cry 6? I bought it. I played it for an hour. I said, fuck this. I got my money back. Not wasting that money. Mediocrity. My life and time span is too short for me to listen to tolerate mediocrity and repeatedness. I don't know words. All right, so let's have some questions. Yes, Hyper 7. Remember the midnight queuing for Call of Duty games outside shops? Those were the days. Were they though? I remember going to do a video. I think it was with Game Trailers, where we went and recorded a midnight opening for a Call of Duty game outside of GameStop, and it was fucking freezing. And everybody was so cheerful, and it was fun to see the excitement of people getting through. But then so many people were dicks about it, and just trash talking, and yeah, I suppose all those things. You get different experiences wherever you are. I'm glad you've had some good experiences. I mean, I lined up for the midnight release of the last Harry Potter book with some friends. Not so much of a nerd I am, but yeah, it is different now. Now it's all delivered directly and preloaded into your system or delivered by Amazon. Those days are gone now. I suppose the nearest we're going to have is is lining up for Black Friday sales, which I've never participated in my life, and will probably die without ever participating in one of them. So there you go. Raypad TV with a footy question. How long do you think Conte, because the new manager of Tottenham, they've got their fourth manager in 18 months, I think it is. Antonio Conte. So how long will he work with the owner of Tottenham, who is tighter than a duck's ass when it comes to releasing funds for players. And that phrase, tighter than a duck's ass, is a British phrase because it means somebody is very frugal, stingy, because a duck's ass is watertight, allegedly. That's the whole thing. So, another phrase is, he's such a tight ass, you could stick coal up there and get a diamond back. Because, again, so tight, compression, all that. Yes, Spurs. I saw that on the Raypad TV saying Spurs have 4 managers under contract till 2023. They've obviously paid off 3 of them, but I saw that meme from on the Facebook group this morning. You're not the only one who gets up early, you know. Yes, Simon Sinclair is absolutely right. Antonio Conte will do a good job for Spurs if he is allowed to. He's a serial winner. He turns up and he wins. It's going to take a come to Jesus moment with the team, the squad. They're going to have to buy into his 3-5-2 or 5-3-2, whatever he's working on. He's going to make them hard to beat, hard to break down. He's going to drill them, make them disciplined, and then he's going to try and beat, and that's the key. Once you make them hard to beat, then the next step is scoring the goals. That's what happened with his first season in charge of Chelsea. They were a little bit all over the place when he took over and then won the league at a canter by the end of the season. So, Raypad, the RPG, rude man. So yes, tell me, what are you looking forward to games-wise? What's coming out that's going to... Yeah, sorry, Marbeck with Diablo 4 getting delayed to 2023. Blizzard's a disaster zone right now. Absolute disaster zone. So, what are you playing? What are you looking for? Pokemon Pearl remake for Switch, because that's Ray. He's special. Darmist, Final Fantasy 14 Endwalker. Hyper 7 is looking for Halo. Obviously, Halo. I'll be looking forward to playing that actually on the Xbox Games Pass. Thank God for the Games Pass. Love it. November is Backbe's back catalog month. Fair enough. Darmist Lost Ark. Sub-level 28 is Forza 5. That's a point. Let's see if, bear with me here, good people. Okay. I just want to see if the... All right. Halo's obviously coming to where is it? Games to play most popular. Oh, they've rejigged it. I was trying to see what was coming soon. So I'm guessing that Forza will be on here soon and Halo will be. So yes, I'll give Forza a go on the PCs. It looked friggin' amazing. The last one looked friggin' amazing. So anyway, let's see. Premium Pass here, Hyper 7, Forza 5. Okay, I'm going to have a crack at that. The kid, Raypad says, the kids are hating on our friend Paul Semmel, who's a very, very good games journalist, very respected, a veteran. He's been in the industry a very long time, for only giving Forza an 8. Well, if he says it's an 8, it's fucking 8, because I like him, and I know he knows his shit. King Ding's got a Switch OLED with Zelda. Good for you. I mean, I still have my Switch just sitting there. It's literally gathered dust. I see the Animal Crossing update has been released. I might update Animal Crossing just to see, but I haven't touched my Switch, I think, in a year. Yeah, Matthew Thomas has it right there. February of next year, Elden Ring, which I know a lot of people are looking forward to. I don't know how to feel because it's From Software, and those games just not my cup of tea, man. Oh, you know what it is? Dying Light 2. Yes, Dying Light 2. Finally. Looking forward to that one. I still haven't. I mean, I literally have this cool Dying Light statue that I refuse to open until the game ships. So it's actually been sitting there in its box. I may have shown this to you before. But if I haven't, apologies. And if I have, well, I'm showing it to you again. Yeah, look at that. See? 2. It's that really cool statue. I have not opened this yet. And you can see the dust on it? Yeah. I refuse to open it until the frigging game ships. So hurry up and release it, please. Because from what I've seen of it at E3, and I got the presentation 2 years ago or 18 months ago, it looked really good. So yes, I look forward to that. And 80 is a good score, by the way. But yes, Horizon 2, Horizon 5 will goes west. I'm going to play that on the PS5. That's going to be cool. This is so cool. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, there you go. Random. Raypad TV asks, how are LA rents these days? Stupid. As far as I know, I'm lucky. We bought our house a decade ago. We bought it before the current surge in prices. So, but our house has doubled in value in actually, gone slightly over double in the decade that we've had it. So yeah, rents are just getting absolutely mental. Yes, I'm glad you own too, because we've got friends who are just trying to rent, and it's such a hard time for them. They're making it so difficult for people to be able to afford mortgages. It's getting crazy. Everybody's buying and flipping because of these stupid HGTV fucking shows where it's like, yeah, I poured all my money into this toilet and now I flipped the toilet and I've sold it for 10 times the amount. Bollocks. And people, you just look at Zillow. The website is Zillow, and I know we're way off track now. We're just having, this is like sitting in the pub. Everybody's got a pint or a cocktail in front of them, or a glass of wine or a glass of water, whatever your thing is. And now it's time to have the discussion about Zillow, because the website where it's like they do all these listings and connect you with realtors, and it's basically real estate porn, and it's something middle-aged people do. I know, because I get the Zillow report every week. They started to buy houses with the express intent to flip them cheaply and then sell them. Unfortunately, they have been stuck with a shit ton of houses they can't shift because they overpaid, and so they're upside down, so they have to upload them for a huge loss. Yeah, Doctor Who. We'll talk about that in a sec. The housing crisis is real. The housing crisis is a thing. We need affordable housing for everybody. We also need to stop people having kids. It's like, stop it. We've got too many people. People aren't dying off as fast as they used to. Life expectations, even with COVID, are getting longer, and there's not enough houses. So we need to tell everybody, you know what? Keep it in your pants for a generation, or maybe just stick to having one and adopting one. That would be cool. If you already got a couple of kids, well, more power to you. But that's my own personal and controversial view, in that if you have a kid of your own and you want a second one, you should foster to adopt, because there's a lot of kids out there who need love and deserve a good family, and they are wonderful kids. And this is from somebody who had 2 foster kids under his. This was a nursery before I had the heart attack, I'm sure, as most of you know. And then I dropped dead, came back from the hospital from after the coma, and I couldn't look after him. I couldn't look after the baby, our second little one. And he's gone off to another family, and I don't know where he is. So anyway, let's now talk about something else. Let's talk about Doctor Who. The Doctor came back last week, and episode 2 starts tomorrow. It was the start of the 6-episode arc called Flux, which is basically 6 episodes taking us up to New Year, and the start of the final 3 specials for Jodie Whittaker as she leaves, taking Chris Chibnall with her before Russell T Davies takes over. Now, I'll give you the condensed version of this, but if you are a Doctor Who fan and you want to get the full skinny, not only from me, but from 2 very, very smart Doctor Who fans, you need to go and look up the Lonely TARDIS podcast. That's a podcast I do with 2 guys, Sean Norton and Dali Dmowski. We are back. We will be back for the entire run of Doctor Who and through the New Year's Day episode, and then we'll be back for the specials. We talk about the news. We talk that is broken with regards to Russell T Davies coming back. We talk about the news that Bad Wolf Studios, which was set up by Julie Gardner and something Tranter, who actually both worked on the original series, the original, so like 2005 reboot of Doctor Who with Russell T Davies. They're going to be in creative control, and they're going to be taking over Doctor Who next for season 24 and the 60th anniversary, which gives me a lot of hope. So yes, we talk about it in depth. We talk about a lot of other things. It's fun. It's basically three middle-aged nerds chatting about shit. Sometimes we have guests on. We've been doing this for they've been doing it for about 10, 12 years. They invited me on about 8 years ago, and I've been doing it ever since. So yes, there you go. Look at that. If you are in fact, yes, if you are in the Discord, the wonderful Sublevel 28 has put the Spotify link to Lonely TARDIS episode 13. I'm going to put this on. I just realized I can't go into the chat because I'm in one chat window as on the restream, but you are all in different ones. So yes, Lonely TARDIS. Look it up. It's fun. Although the last 2 years have pretty much been me crying and getting drunk and getting irked at Chris Chibnall. So, all right. Okay. So yes, that was Doctor Who. Doctor Who is good. Let's see. RPG, tell me to calm down because I'm China. Well, look, you think about it. I mean, average life expectations gone up over the years, and people are living longer, which is wonderful. Our loved ones, our grandparents, are becoming great grandparents or mediocre grandparents, whichever you prefer. But they're around longer, and there's longer generations. But there are sections of society who are multiplying like rabbits, who are like, okay, I want to have 4 kids. I want to have 5 kids. Doctor Who, David Tennant, 6 fucking kids. Luckily, he's a fucking millionaire from all his acting work, so he can afford to support them. But can the planet support them? We've got this COP29 or COP22, whatever the fuck it is, thing happening in Glasgow about climate change. But it's not just climate change with regards to the carbon footprint of the people here now, but all the other people have gone who are coming. I think the population of the planet has doubled in my generation. We've gone from 3.5 billion to 7 billion because people are living longer. Most diseases are a thing of the past. I mean, honestly, there's part of me that says I wish COVID had done its job and just be really selective with who it picked to take, to be honest with you, because I don't think anybody decent deserves to get COVID. Anybody who's got vaxxed, anybody who's, doesn't hate other people. Or, with better PR, Thanos's would have worked as well. But my point is that we have to be responsible. And there are a lot of people having kids who have no right to have kids for whatever reason. Psych tests. I'm not talking about economic. If it's only economic issues, then everybody should be allowed to have a kid who wants one, and they should have the support of the state, local government, whatever. But then there are people with psychological issues who are allowed to have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 kids. And those are the ones who are a problem, because those kids are unloved and they go off and they follow the same pattern. And those kids need to be taken away and loved and looked after. And that's something that's very important to me. So that's the reason I was saying what it was, have one, adopt one. That's it. That's just the way I feel. Okay, so sorry about that. And the viewers numbers go under. Backby, I decided early on I wasn't going to have kids. Granted, I don't need to further the family line. Got 14 nieces and nephews. Whoa. I mean, that's the thing. We discussed fostering because we decided we were not going to have kids of our own, and we would have still been in fostering, or maybe even adopted a child by now, if my old heart hadn't given out. So, yeah. RP Genius, yeah. I mean, it's a long conversation. That's another one to have in the pub over a pint, and just literally go through the pros and cons. Anyway, Have one, just don't have 10, don't have 13, don't squirt them out. No matter what religion tells you that you should do, because the planet can't take it. She's groaning. And not just at my jokes. Okay, so let's talk about something else. Oh, here we go. I knew Ray Pad would bring this up. Do I have, and of course the answer is yes, I have a fucking opinion. Do you have an opinion on Aaron Rodgers using Joe Rogan for medical advice and calling himself a critical thinker? So if you don't know who Aaron Rodgers is, he's a quarterback for the Green Bay Packers in the NFL, and he's been diagnosed with COVID. But he was supposed to be vaccinated. No, he said. I said I'd been inoculated, because he'd been taking ivermectin, because he'd gotten advice on that from Joe Rogan, who's basically a misogynist podcasting douchebag who deserves something large like a truck rammed up his ass on a regular basis. Can't stand Joe fucking Rogan, and anybody who does. I mean, the fact that he is funded, he makes all this money, and he's nothing. He's a libertarian. Unfortunately, he's a like a lot of libertarians, he's a fucking douche, because he says, oh, I want less government, I want this. What he wants is less taxes and less responsibility and less restrictions, so he can be a douche, not pay his fair share, and fuck everybody else. That's what libertarians are. Libertarians are cowardly Republicans. Republicans now, neo-Nazis. Pretty much to a person. You're a Republican, you are a neo-Nazi. That's your party now. Libertarians are the cowardly ones who are like, well, we just want less government. We just want this. Don't tread on me. And you're basically the pansy-ass neo-Nazis who won't even take responsibility. And I'm not saying that the left is any good right now either. They're fucking dicking around like crazy and not getting shit done. So this Aaron Rodgers, he is like, oh, this, that, and the other. You know, I didn't lie. I said I was inoculated. See what I did there, blah, blah, blah. And basically, and you know, he knows is like, oh, the woke left is going to cancel me. What he's done is he's shown that, like most sports stars, and it seems to be not the exclusive purview of American sports stars and football players in particular, but they're dickbags. They're scum. They're brain-damaged morons. They are a product of a system, a high school system, a college system that lets them do whatever they want, and they become entitled assholes. They think they can get away with shit because, oh, my grades don't have to be any good because I got my scholarship for throwing the ball. You shouldn't even have fucking college ball. Colleges and universities shouldn't be places for fucking sports. They should be places for learning, not for fucking idiots like this Green Bay Packers douchebag Aaron Rodgers. So the fact that him and Joe Rogan both got COVID, I hope they die of it. I hope they both die of COVID and send a message, because all they're doing is emboldening the anti-vax, anti-maskers. I can't get the booster shot. I have prostate cancer. You're endangering my life, fucker. So I hope you die. I hope everybody else who refuses to wear a mask and refusing to get a vaccine because God tells them that they shouldn't, or I control what goes in my body. You've already been vaccinated 100 times already in school as a fucking kid, and that shit didn't fucking hurt you. Or I don't want to be tracked by Bill Gates. Guess what? You got a fucking phone. You got an Apple Watch. You're being tracked wherever you go anyway. So all you dopey fuckers who won't wear a mask and won't get vaccinated, and all you scumbag Republicans who are basically monetizing this and weaponizing this to get your minority party, less than 30% of the population of America, votes Republican. But because they've gerrymandered it and the Democrats are so fucking useless and so fucking terrified of actually standing up to the Republicans, nothing ever gets done. Joe Biden should have come into office and fucking slapped half of these fuckers in jail right off the bat. But no, I'm not going to be like Donald Trump. The Democrats need a Donald Trump. Somebody on the side of right, somebody who wants to push climate change, who wants to put money into the working class's pockets, who want to make education free, who want to make sure kids have a house to live in and food on the table, and somebody who takes actions like that, because they don't have anybody. The Democrats, oh, we have to play nice, we can't be like the last ones. They're never going to play by the fucking rules, so wake the fuck up. So anyway, yes, Aaron Rodgers, fucking cunt. I hope he dies. I hope he gets. I hope COVID. If it doesn't kill him, I hope it renders him impotent and has a really nasty a couple more side effects. Joe Rogan, he's another one. I hope they have really nasty side effects. He's already a roidy, bald-looking motherfucker anyway, so he can fuck off and die. So there you go. That's my view. I am ranting and wound up, and I really shouldn't be. It's the last of my testosterone used up for today. I'm going to be like a little lamb. Yeah, sorry, RPG. An RPG says that he likes Joe Rogan. Sorry, the guy's a cunt. He's a cunt. Joe Rogan is a cunt. He's a sack of shit in human form. He is not worthy of your respect, your admiration. He brings nothing to the table at all. He is a parasite and a fucking stain on the underpants of humanity. So he just needs to go. That's it. You cannot defend Joe Rogan to me at all. Ditto Aaron, what's his fucking face? Ditto any Kyrie Irving. He's another one. The basketball player who I refuse to get vaccinated and I think the world is flat. Well, no, you're a twat and you need to be kicked out of this and your money taken away and given to people who need it. The fact that you came through a fucking system that allowed you to get a college education or whatever, and make a shit ton of money and probably not pay any fucking tax because that's what you wankers do. Fuck off out of here. Obviously not you fuck off out of here. Happy genius. You're a good chap. But yes, this is me. That's the thing. The Democrats are backbeat. They just, yeah. Anyway, I'm not going to talk about it anymore. It's going to wind me up. The Democrats need to fucking develop some backbone and a pair of, just put a woman in charge. Not Kristen Sinema. But yes, put somebody in charge to fucking kick him out of the shape. President AOC in 10 years' time. That would be lovely. Anyway. All right. So let's wind this down. I'll be going for 1 or 2 and I got a little. Oh, I can't wind it. I got to talk to you about Eternals. I got to tell you about Eternals. So if you haven't seen Eternals, I mean, how about that for just 180 off on a different tangent? If you haven't seen Eternals, log out now. Like I said, if you are a Patreon subscriber and you've subscribed to Tier 2, take a look at your messages because I have sent you messages. Jesus Christ. Sorry, Mark Simpson. Secondhand PS5s, £720. That's almost like $900 in used. That's fucking ridiculous. Chicken Chaser PHC sounds like labor over here. Yeah, it would be, again, it would be so easy to rip through, and I just can't understand it. Maybe it's time we send them all to the guillotine. But anyway. All right, so yes, I am stepping out. I'm stepping out. You step out if you don't want to hear me talk about Eternals. I will tell you I enjoyed it, and that's it. You can all tootle off now. If you want to stay and hear my thoughts on Eternals, I will go through into a little more detail. I'm going to have a quick sip of my coffee. Frostcan, didn't even know you were in the room. Nice to see you. That's it. I'm going to give you a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boom. All right. Now we are going to talk about Marvel's The Eternals that dropped yesterday. If you believe Rotten Tomatoes, the worst movie that Marvel has released. It's got the rotten rating. And I'm here to tell you that I think that's bollocks. I think, I sat there with a wife and I enjoyed it. Is it the best Marvel movie? No. And I tweeted this out yesterday. It's got this indie sensibility about it. Chloe Zhao, obviously indie director, did Nomadland, and won her Oscar. But what she's the writer, co-writer, and director. And what she's done is she's created something that I like to call superheroes for grown-ups. A superhero story that you can follow. It does have a lot going on. It's 2.5 hours. There are a lot of different characters. There's some good fight scenes, but it is easy to follow. Certainly better for me. It was more fun and more enjoyable than Black Widow for me. More enjoyable than Shang-Chi this year. And I don't know whether that's just me changing as an adult, but being a comic fanboy, I've enjoyed every Marvel movie. But this one was different, and I really enjoyed it. I thought the characters and the cast were excellent. The fact that there is so much diversity in there, and it feels natural that these beings, the Eternals that come to Earth 7,000 years ago, they look like humans, and they all have different accents. There's Scottish, there's Irish, there's Mexican, there's Indian, there's obviously Asian, and they're all different. They're all from different parts of all these accents are different, so you can see that they would fit in. They're created, or they've come to fit in with different parts of the world because they separate them after a certain amount of time. Deaf, yes, we have a deaf one, and they all have different powers, so that none is too overpowered. But it shows them arriving. It shows them fighting the deviants. It shows the whole purpose of the trip they're on Earth. Acting superb. The use of practical sets where possible is superb. You can tell people are not standing behind a fucking green screen most of the time. The fact that everybody gets mostly equal. There's two who kind of lead it. Gemma Chan, amazing actress, and Richard What's-His-Face, who is in Game of Thrones. Those are sort of like the two lead ones that you see the most of. But Salma Hayek, Angelina Jolie, they turn up. Kit Harington is there. They have a whole bunch of different characters who get their own airtime. And it's a relaxing movie. It's an enjoyable movie. I was genuinely curious how they were going to tackle the big question at the end. And they tackled it, and it felt like a satisfying ending. Yes, Kumail Nanjiani. Again, I'm terrified of butchering people's names. And it was a satisfying ending. The only caveat is it can get a little busy because you've got all these, they do put certain characters to the back burner. Some characters you don't see for a while, literally from after the first 20 minutes, you don't see them again. And they do time jump a little. But it does work. It works. And then, of course, my problem is at the end is the inevitable Marvel setup for Eternals 2. Something happens, you think, okay, we're going to get closure on this one, and then there's the cliffhanger, which I'm not going to disclose. I know it's been spoiled by a lot of people. And then we've got the post-credit scene. Now, there's obviously, I'm going to talk about the mid-credit scene, which is Harry Styles from One Direction. That's the fact, Raypad, the fact that you have a favorite members of One Direction, I weep for you at times, my brother. I really do. So yes, there's the Harry Styles cameo that everybody knows about, and then there's the second one, which is right at the very end. And I'm actually going to talk a little bit about how these things kind of... I posted this out yesterday on Twitter, and it's maybe controversial, maybe not. I'm just getting a little bit sick of having to wait around for the post-credit sequence. The mid-credit one, absolutely fine with. You stay there, you get to admire the artistry of that sort of like initial credit sequence with all the art and all the various whoosh, whoosh, looks great. Music score's fantastic. But then you have to wait another 4 or 5 minutes for the next one. And while I don't want to take anything away from every person who worked, no doubt, very hard on these products, on these movies, they should have their moment up on the screen. but I don't want to have to be forced to sit through them. And the post-credits sequences have become a case of diminishing returns, in my opinion. Didn't even stay for the super final one on Shang-Chi. I just knew I'd find it online. So I found the description. This one I did sit, and actually I stepped out, between mid and final ones, and I went to double check with the cinema usher, and I said, is there a second? Is there a post-credits one? They said, yes, there is. I said, you guys must fucking hate this. And, because you can't get in to clear out the cinema. Thankfully, it's a small cinema. And they said, yeah, we do. We absolutely hate it. Mid-credits is fine, but it just really condenses things and makes us more stressed. And it's become something that is just accepted with the Marvel movies, and everybody else is doing it. And I just don't think we need to do them anymore. I think do a mid-credit one, and then especially, the one that was come at the end of Eternals, that could be a teaser that is released on YouTube before the retail version goes on sale, the Blu-ray video on demand rental, if you will, or during, once that's out there, they can just put that out on YouTube. I just don't think we need to see them anymore. I think it's unfair of Marvel, and it's getting the stage, like I said, where this old dude is so sick of waiting around for them. I'm not going to do it anymore. So yes, I can recommend it. I can recommend it if you are, perhaps a little bit older like me, if you are looking for something that is beautifully shot with excellent actors. The fight scenes are pretty cool. The VFX, when needed, is quite spectacular, especially towards the end. It does throw out some questions about the evolution of mankind. If people talk about the Incas and the Aztecs and the Mayans and the pyramids and the Egyptians, and how these things were created huge monoliths and temples. Excuse me. Well before they should have been technically able to. And, did we have aliens who turned up, did stuff, and then fucked off again? Are they going to come back? It delves into that. Have we been helped with our technology? Because especially in the last 100 years, our technology has jumped forward at a quantum pace. Maybe in the last 150 years. It really has jumped forward. And it just touches on these things. And it does it in a nice way. And so, yes, I enjoyed it. I can recommend it. If you're looking for Thor Ragnarok, this is not it. It really isn't. And Thor Ragnarok is obviously right up there, one of my top 3 Marvel films. But yes, I really recommend it. It's a great movie. It's a good to great movie. I think the director did a good job. I think the cast did a great job. And I would be down to watch a sequel if I'm still here. So, any questions? No, I notice we're getting quiet now. I think everybody's getting tired. Is it time for a glass of milk and a little break? Probably is. I need to go off and finish my breakfast. Did everything just drop off? Is anybody around? Oh, okay. Am I talking to myself? Nobody's chatting right now. Did my internet go? Well, Ray is still here, thankfully. Ray is still here. Let's see. Channel. Let's see. Am I still on? Yeah, I'm still on. Look at that. Look at the side of my head. There you go. All right. Time for a beer over there. King Ding, it's time for a beer over here too. Although I'm going to finish my muesli first. Let that go down. Be good, people. See you next Saturday. I think it's international break, so I will be back on Saturday of next week. Have a good one. Catch you soon. Bye.